Did you guys have that problem with Facebook past couple of days?
What problem?
Well, I was having a problem where everything I posted, if it was like a link or whatever, it was like a blank picture. Everything.
Huh. I don't post, so.
This is true. You get tagged in posts.
Well, it works out better for me that way.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I see, Steve.
That way, I'm not responsible for any of the content. It's all on somebody else.
I hear you. Ooh. Ugh. That was rough. Oh, all right.
You all right, Chris? I mean, we're trying
to. It's a bad day, Steve. So, you had surgery.
That was 2 days ago or yesterday or something.
Well, you're still recovering. So, I mean, what do you want?
I want a professionally done show.
Then you've come to the wrong place.
Yeah. I think we realized that day one.
Yeah.
It was actually even pointed out to us on day one. Remember?
Oh,
that?
yes, I do. I do. Let's start the show before we could take a trip down memory lane, Steve.
All right.
This is the Fortean Slip, episode 60, the Bigfoot After School Special. This is the episode where Steve takes Richard out behind the shed and molests him while I run home to Mr. Drummond.
What?
But the damage is already
Mr. Drummond?
I'd rather you molest him.
I'm not a molester.
Why don't I choose who gets who molested?
Says you.
You don't get to choose a molester. No, wait, whoa. People who get molested don't choose a molester. Not that I'm going to do it, because I'm not.
It sounds like you've got personal experience with molestation.
No, I'm just saying
that later, but
no,
it's my story.
You don't choose your molester.
Given the choice, I would rather Chris molest me. He's supposed to be really, really good in bed. So,
how do you know?
Wow,
Missy told me.
I don't even want to be part of this conversation anymore. God Almighty! Why?
Huh?
I'm rolling NFG.
Why do we even go down those roads?
Because it's the road that we go down, Steve. I mean,
it's the wrong road. You know what they say about taking a fork in the road?
Yeah, take the third path.
What's the third path?
I don't know. Your sex life, apparently. Poo-poo!
You're all over it tonight.
NFG tonight, lads. NFG.
Yeah. So, I wanted to address the show from Sunday. And for the record, this isn't a dressing down of Richard. Richard and I have spoken. Everything is fine. He will be leaving the show. That is a decision. You're fucking aware of it. Don't act like you're surprised.
No, I wasn't. No, seriously. You said that you were going to discuss it with Richard, but I never got an update. I can go back.
I could have swore I told you. You sure you haven't been taking more of them painkillers than you're saying?
Dude. Let me look.
I think you might be.
I'm looking through my messages. Richard's on a date. Doing an addendum show. You want to build your dream. What else do you? I don't know. I can't find it.
What the fuck? God
Almighty, I don't know. You sent me some guy with
you're like a child
on his shirt. I don't know. I'm not seeing it.
You're like a fucking child. Anyway, and I need some. Basically I need clarification on a bunch of things.
Wait, here's what you wrote. We are going to do a show before Sunday to set the record straight. That's it. That's all you sent.
That's all I said to you?
That's it. I mean, that was the last.
I could have sworn I said something to you before, but anyway.
No, I'm always last.
All right.
Go ahead.
It's been a rough week, Steve.
Yeah.
So, anyway, what am I allowed to talk about, Richard?
What do you mean?
I mean, I just want to make sure that I'm not overstepping any fucking bounds.
What bounds would you overstep?
Well, I mean, the reason I knew about the whole situation in the first place.
Was because I told you on the air.
No, it was long before that. We were in a hangout with Russ Mock.
Russ Mock. Yeah, I don't care. Say what you want, and I'll correct you.
You'll correct me if I'm mistaken.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. So this whole thing goes back, and this is long before the tree was ever dug under by Brent. So to bring everybody up to speed, we did the show last week about Brent Dill's expedition, I guess you could call it, to a tree. He dug underneath it, found out there wasn't a Bigfoot. Could have been deeper, as Steve was saying.
That's right. Could have been.
We don't know. But, and this was long before that. So Richard and I are in a hangout with, I can't remember who all was there. I think it was just Russ Mock and a couple of other people. And the subject of Brent's relationship with Lori comes up. And Richard confirms that in fact it's the case in the hangout. Have I said anything out of turn?
Yeah, that sounds pretty accurate.
Okay. Russ says, "Well, can I post about it?" And Richard says, "I don't care." So
I'm a gossip. People know this about me.
Yeah. So on Facebook, it fucking goes like instantly. Boom. So I had known about it since back then. And over the course of this whole thing, you know, Richard kept telling me, yes, they had a relationship. Yes, they had a relationship. But for the fact of the fucking matter, I didn't have the connections to the people who knew what was going on. That was all Richard. Now, I sat on it. The reason I sat on it, because I was expecting that the guy with the information would come out with it. And to be honest, Richard, I kind of was throwing you under the bus. Or letting you throw yourself under the bus.
Right, you Norm Glassed me. It's fine. I'm cool with it.
What?
No.
How do you always turn this back on me?
Because you deserve it.
Oh, yeah,
so
because that's what he did to you.
And, you know, because I ultimately, you know, I want everybody on this show to be on board with, we call it out. You know, if it's there, we call it out. Now, whether or not, you know, in general, like if you looked at something, whether or not somebody had a relationship with somebody, generally wouldn't matter to their fucking research of a certain thing. In this case, it kind of had something to do with it.
Kind of.
In my opinion, in Steve's opinion, we made that well known.
Mm-hmm.
Like we've been throwing the fucking joke around for weeks. You know, did somebody dig up her fucking tree or, you know, yada, 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 yada. And then we had done the show with Matt, which was where we discussed the whole thing about having Brent on. And Steve and I, again, had expressed, you know, this seems like a jilted lover situation.
Exactly.
Now, did I expect Richard to come out on the show and say something? Yes. Because, you know, I'm getting the information like fucking third and fucking fourth hand, basically. But he had the information. You know, and when I had said something to Richard about it, he was like, well, I couldn't get a word in edgewise. Fucking say something. Say something to me.
Excuse me, fellas. I'm going to mute myself for a second.
Yeah, you do that. So, and I didn't come to this whole decision lightly. like I told Richard when we spoke, that are you posting and fucking Bigfooting with Keith and Colin again?
I'm responding to the
Christ. Fucking hell.
His last fucking show. And
I
he
know.
still can't follow the rules.
He just can't fucking do it. He's just fucking. He's got a stick and he's just poking me.
I'm not posting in Facebook. I'm commenting in the chat.
No, the notification just came up on my computer that you made a post.
Yeah.
In Bigfoot with Keith and Colin.
Well, that's bullshit. Because I haven't posted anything.
Well, seems awful weird.
For 5 hours.
Well, then Facebook's fucked up.
Look at you go. So, and Steve and I had a discussion afterwards, after the show. And we were both like, yeah, it was obvious. Like the way he responded to the questions, that there was something. Now, listen, I don't know if they had a romantic relationship. I don't know if they just had a physical relationship. I really don't give a fuck.
Well, it's clear, and I sent you some links from, they had a working relationship for sure. That wasn't mentioned on the show at all. There was a documentary or something that was going down.
Yeah, he never mentioned anything about that.
Right. And they had done an interview on another, I don't know if it's a YouTube podcast or another podcast about that. So it was clear that some information was being held back.
Yeah.
Right.
And I forgot to fucking plug my headphones in.
So let's just, with all due respect, guys, because as I said to Chris last night, you know, at the end of the day, I like you, and I don't want to fall out over something as stupid as Brent's love life.
Yeah, no doubt.
But everything you've just said, blah, 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 blah. Who fucking cares? It was a hoax. He went and proved it was a hoax. That's the important thing. That's the tagline.
Okay.
Doesn't matter who was fucking who.
Okay. So, all things being equal, he also said in the same fucking show that it had already been said that that's what it was.
Yeah, in Brian Sykes' book, but we didn't know because we hadn't read Brian Sykes' book.
The information was out there.
But we didn't know until it came out.
The information was out there, and like Steve and myself, and even Matt when he was on the show had said, who fucking believes that there's a Bigfoot under that fucking tree?
Well, that's not the point.
Well, I think, let me just say something here. And I think the point that we were trying to make was, what was the purpose of him digging up the tree? It wasn't not because he was trying to prove a hoax or anything like that, because everybody knew. I mean, it wasn't like anybody really, I mean, there's people, but, and the information, like you said, was out there. My whole thing on that show was to find out what his motivations were. And if his motivations were jilted lover, I wanted to know that, right? If his motivations were, let's provide a service to the Bigfoot community by exposing a hoax, I want to know that.
Were you listening to that interview? He was just going to say the same tired rhetoric he's been saying since day one. Of course he did it out of revenge. Of course he's a jilted lover.
Right.
I mean, I've been saying that for weeks and weeks. That's the whole reason he was on the show, was because I said he was a jilted lover, and he threw a hissy fit in the comments.
Right. And that's
I'm happy to get thrown off this show.
No. Let me finish. Hold on.
Let me finish.
Sorry.
Let me finish.
What you got?
I'm happy to not do the show anymore because I spoke over your outro, because that was a dick move, and I'm sorry because you had told me about that before. But this Brent Dill thing, you know, it's just bollocks.
Okay. And as I told you, okay, when we were talking, when you have something like I have with this show,
yes,
there is a certain type of integrity that I have with the show.
Right.
When it comes to calling out shit.
Okay.
Okay. And if I'm going to have a guy who's going to not purposefully not call out shit because he doesn't think it's relevant, when in fact we've brought it up many times, I think that's an issue, Richard.
Have we brought it up, or have I? Because once again, the whole reason he was on the show was because the show before I explained it as him being a jilted lover, and he threw a hissy fit in the comments.
Right.
Was that not me calling that out?
However, when push came to shove in the situation, we had the guy right here.
Yeah, fair enough.
You know, and Steve and I were willing to, you know, to throw what we had out there.
Which, in my defense, I didn't have much. I didn't look into it. Not my defense, but
you don't really deserve any.
No, I didn't look into the situation far enough, and I probably should have looked into it more. Because after the show, when we discussed this part of it, I did look into it more. Now I couldn't find any evidence of an actual relationship because I'm not in a lot of the groups you guys are in and whatnot, but.
Right.
There is a professional relationship at least.
In and of that, we had a position. You know, and granted, Richard, you didn't have that position. You know, Steve and I had the position of we felt like there was motive beyond, you know, just trying to find out the truth. There was more motive than that. And that's why I had such an issue with it. Like, and for the record, and I've said this on the show, I'll say it again and again and again to address the people that think that somehow my position it disappoints them. Like I've been friends with Lori. I haven't spoken to her in a long time. She seems like she's disappeared from the face of the earth, but I've told her, we've spoken, that I do not believe in what she was doing. Like, I don't buy it. But even that being the case, I still disagree with what Brent did. And now, at first, I thought he had fucking ripped the goddamn tree down. I didn't realize he had just dug underneath it. You know, but all things being equal, I'm still of the position that I think it was a dick move. It was done to be spiteful. I mean, even you admit that.
It was.
And is that the type of research we need going on? Do we need people going out to do things just to be fucking spiteful?
It's a naughty one. On the one hand, it was done out of the spite. On the other hand, it closed the door forever on it. Like when Stephen and Jamie went to Sohar, they didn't accomplish anything except for show Johnson that they'd found his secret site. Like that was
but what did Johnson do? He just made another, and I agree that was probably a dick move too. And it was also done out of spite. I guarantee.
All they had to do was put up trail cameras, and the next time we went up there and said, "Oh, the Bigfoot are all around us, but we can't put up trail cameras because they're retracted," they could have gone, "Well, we put up trail cameras," and you said there was Bigfoot, and that would have done something. You know, it would have contributed. It's another one of those. You don't need proof that Johnson's a hoaxer, but at the same time, you know, it's nice to have it. You know, that would have accomplished something. But all they did was go up there and out of spite and do it. What Brent did, he did it out of spite, but he accomplished something.
I'm not sure he accomplished anything because what Johnson did after that is just move Soha to a different location. Okay. And if Lori really wanted to, she'd just find a different tree. You know what I'm saying? It does. What does it really accomplish when you do things out of spite like that?
Well, what does busting any hoaxer accomplish? Ultimately?
Exactly. And
so like we should just give up. We should just stop.
No.
Stop blogging. You should stop investigative recording. Steve Cole should shut down Scotch Detective because it doesn't do any good.
No. Well, how would we deal without having Tactical Man?
Yeah, Steve Coles isn't doing well. Maybe on occasion, and I can't speak for Steve Coles, but generally he's not doing it out of spite. He puts out real facts. I mean, it's not somebody who he's had a relationship with or somebody who's had an argument with. for the most part. You know,
Brett Dill put out facts as well. He took photographs. He did an investigation.
Sure. And I'm
not disputing the fact that he did an investigation.
We're just
my dispute is the motivation behind it.
Because
I don't give a fuck.
When you have a spite, if spite is your reason for your motivation to do something, you're not going to look at that case with an open mind. You know, you're going to make the facts fit whatever you want them to. And not saying Brent did. We all knew there's no Bigfoot under that tree. I mean, it's not rocket science. But spite cannot be a motivation for an investigation of any sort if you're trying to be a legitimate researcher or jilted lover or whatever it is.
It just paints a different narrative is all I'm saying, Richard.
Right.
It's not that what he didn't prove anything or whatever you want to say. It's the story. It's the whole picture. Like saying that, well, he went and he did this and he had the investigation and he put out the facts. Okay, that's but a fucking 2x2 square in the fucking 12x12 picture. I mean, there's more to it.
Now Brent will probably continue to defend his side where there was no motivation to do this, but there was. I mean, it's very just the way he answered that question was about.
I admit it would be fucking better if he just admitted the whole thing with the affair with Laurie and everything, but this whole fucking thing, bottom line is, it's been corroborated by park rangers, and it was in Brian Sykes' book. He's on the money.
I'm not denying the results.
Yeah, neither one of us are denying it.
And my biggest, I don't want this to be like the Squatchers Lounge, where we end up just falling out and never talking to each other again.
Oh no, and I've told you that that's not going to be the case.
Good, because like that's
no. Listen. I can disagree with people and still have conversations with them. You know, that's not, or still be friends with them. It's not a friendship ending thing. Or I just, like I'd said to you, you know, there's been, and there's been more than just these cases, excuse me, that we've brought up tonight, you know, of the stuff that I've talked to you about. And like I had said to you, what's going to be the next thing that I don't know that's coming?
I don't have a problem with not doing the show anymore for those reasons. I just
and Richard, I've loved having you on. I mean, you've been great. Like fuck, we got Mick West because of you. I mean, I'm not
doing
down
the show anymore.
I'm not downplaying anything that you've done in the past for the show. I think you were a great addition to the show. I loved having you on. And like I had said to you, dude, I want you to continue doing your fucking blog, and I want you to go at it like a fucking madman, and do your fucking comic strip, you know, and in the future, like, because you're in the fucking know in a lot of this of the Bigfoot information. I have no issue, and I told you I want to have you on as like a fucking guest. But, you know, do it your way. You know, because you have a way. But, you know, listen, and I'll tell you, be honest with yourself about the shit. Because I think with the whole Brent thing, I don't think I think you're so gung-ho about all hoaxers need to be called out and proven wrong. And for the record, yes. But look at the bigger picture. And don't be willing to leave out facts because they may tarnish the part of the picture that you want. I mean, you've got a pretty good audience, Richard, with what you do with your blog. And I know that your readership, you said, isn't as good as it used to be. But you keep fucking pumping that. You keep pumping that fucking thing out there, and it'll be back. You know, but I've literally it's just been a bunch of things that have just mounted, and rather than it wind up getting to a point where it blows up and we're both pissed off at each other, just you do your thing, I do mine.
And I want you to know,
would be best.
I want you to know, for the record, Richard, Chris and I did discuss this, but I did not give Chris an opinion one way or the other. This is Chris's show. I hate to see you go. You are my friend, and I want it to continue to be that way. And if this is the way it's got to be, then that's fine. But I gotta let Chris run the show the way he wants to, and I gotta be part of it if I want to be part of it, which I do, obviously. I mean, we've been doing this since 2013? Holy hell!
Yeah, geez, it's been a long time.
So, but I also want to be friends with Richard too.
Yeah, and I mean, hey, for the record, when Jeff and I had stopped talking, Steve and Jeff still talked. I mean, I know they don't anymore, or they haven't in a while. But I don't. So. And
it's not saying that you and Richard aren't going to be friends either. It's just
right. And I would have remained friends with Jeff. For all the people that want to fucking take a trip behind the fourth wall here. I told him that I was okay with us being friends, but that I had to say what I needed to say on air because I didn't buy it. He knew I didn't buy it. There was a bunch of information that was thrown out there. I mean, it's been long enough now. The fucking guy, he literally come out and said, Bigfoot stood on the fucking hill and looked at me in my hammock. That was his exact words to me. Telling me that all this shit happened at the site. There were there were footprints up there. And then I go to talk to somebody else who was there, who I won't name. But if you do a little digging, you probably figure out who the fuck that it was.
It's hard to figure it out.
And that person said, yeah, those were my footprints. And yeah, they tried to cast them with toothpaste and some fucking toilet paper. Because they didn't bring any fucking casting material up. But I felt like I had to, because we had all along called out the fact that we didn't agree with the whole paid Bigfoot expeditions. We think it's a bag of shit. If you can do it, hey, fucking kudos to you. Rake the fucking money in. But we still think it's a bag of shit.
Yeah.
So, and I had said that over and over. But I had also told him, that I still wanted to be his friend. And, he was the one that decided that wasn't going to be the case. So, I mean, it is what it is when it comes to that. But, Richard, I've always come to you about shit. Is that fair?
Yeah.
If I have an issue, I've always said something to you. And, I don't... Go ahead.
I think the big problem between us is that neither me or you really like being told what to do.
It's probably true. Me, I'm used to being told what to do. So,
oh Jesus, let's not go down this road again. But yeah, I mean, and maybe that is true. Like I said, this is my thing. And I have. It's loose. I keep it fairly loose. I mean, I give tons of leeway when it comes to stuff for the people that are on the show. But there are certain things that, I just, from my own conscience about how I do this shit, I can't let it fly all the time and keep happening. And I just don't know, because you are so vehemently... You're like fucking Rorschach about calling out hoaxers. Like
fraud.
And I get that in your personality. Like, I understand it. And that's all fine and good. But I wonder, like, if, like I said, sometimes you don't kind of leave some shit out because you think that the calling out of the hoaxers is more important than the other shit. So that's why I had said to you, paint the bigger picture. If you're going to do this, do it right. Because that's the only way it's going to make sense. Yeah.
I don't know what that noise was, but
I don't either.
It was amusing to me.
I did keep calling him a jilted lover over and over again.
Right. I understand that. But in the moment, Richard.
And, I don't want an argument. Okay, just.
It's fine.
Yeah. I mean, I just want you to understand, like, it was the reason we had him on the show.
Yeah.
Like, and I spoke to other people about it, and they were like, dude, that's the reason you had the guy on the fucking show. So, and I understand. I understand what you're saying. I get it. It's a principle thing, Richard. And like I'd said to you as well, there was more than that. And you know that, and you're aware of that. And that's not...
Yeah, everything else was a dick move, and I've apologized repeatedly for.
Right. And, and you and I are fine.
Yeah.
We're going to disagree on this whole thing. The whole, Brent Dill thing. And that's fine.
Can we get to the part where we sing Kumbaya?
And hold hands?
Yeah.
Around the campfire?
Please?
Steve, will you get high if we do that?
No, I'm just getting uncomfortable over here. That's all.
Oh, all right.
Kumbaya settles me down.
Oh, I'm sorry, Steve.
All right.
Kumbaya. Oh.
Thank you. I feel so much better about this whole situation now.
But yeah, I mean, everything's fine, dude. Like, I'm not gonna fucking stop talking to you. I'm still gonna fucking hit you up all the fucking time.
Oh, by the way, thank you, Richard, for your concern. He sent me a message the other day after my surgery asking how I was. So thank you, sir.
No worries, just making sure.
Yeah. Well, my arm didn't fall off or any shit like that, so I'm good.
We were always a plus.
Huh?
Said
we were a plus.
We were hoping.
Oh, yeah, I know you guys would love to see something like that.
Armless Steve? Are you fucking kidding me?
Where is your God now?
I'm down.
Where's my God now? Where did that come from?
That's what you say.
I just want to know if like you did lose an arm and you get a bionic arm, would you have to spray paint it green?
You'd buy it off eBay.
I'm sure my wife would order a green one, yes.
Oh, okay. I just want to make sure you.
And if it wasn't green, yes, I'd probably have to spray paint.
Oh, okay. Steve would be like fucking Iron Man, working on himself.
Wait, who's gonna get me the news now? You mean I got to do that shit myself now?
No. Steve, I do things for the show.
Oh.
Contrary to popular belief. I do run a blog.
Oh, that's right. I forgot about that.
Yeah. But yeah.
Kumbaya.
So, did I mention the fucking walking trees thing before the show?
You did?
Yeah.
Before
okay.
the show. Yes.
All right. So I'm going to fucking throw our good friend Phil Poling under the bus with this one. I was telling the guys before the show, Matt sends me this video, Matt Knapp, the other day about the walking trees in Russia. That was the name of the video. Was posted on Facebook. So I grabbed it, posted it on my blog, and then I had talked to Phil, and Phil posted a video about it, and I took a look at it, and boy was Phil off. I watched the video before I posted it on my blog, and I'm just like, yep, gonna just throw it up there. Not gonna say a thing to him. Not even gonna worry about it. No, he's a big boy. And within like 2 to 3 hours, Phil messages me and goes, yeah, I didn't notice there was a guy in the video.
You mean Phil got it wrong?
So, yeah, talk about doing your due diligence over there. Fucking para breakdown.
Phil 99.9% of the time gets it right, but we got to capitalize when he gets it wrong.
Oh my God. Didn't I fucking laugh when he said, I didn't even notice the guy there. Fucking dumbass. Have another rum.
Has he done an addendum? Has he updated his?
He said he was going to. I'm hoping he does.
He probably ought to.
I'll post it.
I mean, I watched that video briefly on Facebook, and obviously no mystery going on there. But,
yeah, it's not fucking Bigfoot.
And it's not the ground moving either.
Yeah. Yeah, it's not natural ground movement.
Sorry, Phil.
Jesus fucking Christ, Phil. Yeah, when he sent that message to me, I fucking laughed. I'm like, oh God. Because I watched his breakdown. I'm like, all right. And yeah. So I guess he wasn't paying too close attention to that one, just trying to pump him out there, trying to be the machine at Para Breakdown.
The unmonetized machine at Para Breakdown.
Yeah.
That's probably why he's slipping. He's not getting paid anymore.
What the fuck? Who cares anymore?
And I don't know if I'm correct on that. Is it that he's just having monetization issues with his videos, or?
Yeah, I think so. I think once YouTube flags your channel for one thing or another, then you're always that way.
Yeah.
So you're having trouble, because I know a lot of people, and it's like family-friendly content gets flagged a lot.
Yeah,
so Vic Cundiff's show just got destroyed.
Who?
Yeah.
Oh, Vic Cundiff, yeah.
Yeah, it's too bad.
Even YouTube won't put up with the bollocks that is Dogman.
Hey now. Hey now, you'll make Vic cry.
Sorry, Vic.
Yeah, sorry.
Didn't mean to make you cry.
Look,
if that's your real name.
And hey, you know, he has a lot of, or had a lot, I don't know how he's doing now with his show. You know, a lot of fans. And that's great. And but there was a time where I was trying to promote his show on my blog, and he checks the thing so you can't share his videos. You can't embed them.
Which is stupid.
Yeah,
very stupid.
Well, if you're trying to monetize a channel on YouTube, make sure that people can share it.
Right. So you can make more money. Like, somebody was trying to explain that to him. He's like, I don't want anybody stealing my videos. It's like, dude,
they're gonna get a YouTube downloader and steal it anyway.
The people that want to do that, yeah. The people who are sharing it are helping you out.
There's a difference between embedding a video on a website and stealing a video. What?
Yeah.
What's so funny, Richard?
I just found that amusing. Sorry.
But it's true. Stealing a video, I can get a YouTube downloader and take any video off YouTube, whether you got that embed thing clicked or not.
Right, and then the person
put it on my own channel or whatever.
Yep. And then the person on YouTube who had the channel does not get the view, does not get the
That's right.
anything.
But if you're embedding a video in a blog,
they get everything.
You get the view. The YouTube creator, content creator, gets the view, gets the credit for the ads and all that. So it's a huge difference.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And he didn't want people to be able to do that.
Well, I can understand his thinking behind it, but it's flawed.
And he also didn't want people to use the image for his Dogman show, because I was going to, put that up to, as the picture for the post. Yeah, he's got some real weird issues with stuff.
Well, I'm not saying Vic in particular, but a lot of people in this industry are very scared, paranoid individuals who think that everything is a conspiracy against them.
I'm a scared Steve.
And so I can understand the thinking, but it is flawed.
Yeah. And I mean, we've been doing this for a while, and it is such a strange community to try to deal with anything.
Yeah.
I mean, Christ, I wanted to do when I first started out, I remember, I was trying to make little parody fucking videos, and I wanted to do Jeff Meldrum has a foot fetish video. And fucking people were like, you can't do that.
You even sent that to Meldrum, didn't you?
Yeah.
I got a response from him. And he said, I guess if you're going to do it or something like that, whatever.
Well, I told him, I said, hey, because I had read that he was a fan of Carlin, of George Carlin.
Right.
And Carlin was, a comedian that pushed boundaries, and he believed that, the comedy was going over the line and, bringing people with you. And so I messaged Meldrum, and I was like, hey, I've got this idea, this concept for, this video that I want to do on YouTube where, I have a Dr. Phil-like character interviewing you, talking to you about having a foot fetish because you do fucking foot morphology.
Yeah, kind of, yeah.
So, and I had found an old video of him talking about feet, and I clipped it all, and Phil did the voiceover for the Dr. Phil character. And it just, I loved how it came out. But when he responded to me, he was like, you're going to do what you want anyway, like you said. So, because I told him that I wanted his blessing to do it, but that, I wasn't looking for, I wanted it, but I didn't need it in order to do it. But I wanted him to know, like, because I think that's the way, you shouldn't, like, just go at people for no fucking apparent reason. Like that, because it was a tongue-in-cheek thing, and at the time,
you didn't want to dig up the wrong tree.
And and at the time, I was a fan of his.
Twat.
Yeah,
that's my new tagline, by the way. You don't want to dig up the wrong tree.
But yeah, so he wasn't too on board with that.
But you did it anyhow.
Yeah, and we skipped over the whole fucking thing we were talking about before the show. God damn it.
What was that?
That we were told we were unprofessional from day one, Steve.
Oh, yeah, we are. And we have been. And where is he now? Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah, not around. He was going to revolutionize podcasting, wasn't he?
Yeah.
He was going to take it to the limit.
Well, he revolutionized something.
Yeah.
It wasn't podcast. No, he was revolutionizing radio.
I love that guy. He is hilarious.
Is he still around? I mean, I don't see his
post. He comes into the BBB sometimes and tells us we're all losers, then leaves.
Well, that's
the kind of guy you want.
No, that's his thing.
That's the guy you want around.
He comes in, he's like, you lose, takes 30 years to be an overnight success, blah, blah, blah. I'm going to revolutionize everything. He's clearly drunk when he does this. And then he leaves.
Clearly. So here's the story that's behind that. There was 3 podcasts that started all pretty much the same day. Ours, Jonathan and Jamie's, and this guy. And Jonathan and Jamie's didn't last very long, and then of course Jamie passed away. Joe's lasted how long? About a year? No, not even that long. 6 months.
No, it was very short-lived, as I remember it.
But he was trying to do a podcast radio style. So he'd have his commercials, he'd have his music in there, and there was like 2 minutes of talking in a whole hour show.
Yeah.
That kind of thing. So to him, that was revolutionizing radio or podcast.
Doing the same thing that radio stations do. It was a revolution.
Well, because radio stations have a format, and they follow that format strictly. That's why you got news at the top of the hour, and every 15 minutes or whatever it is, you got your weather, you got all that. Well, he was trying to do the same thing on a podcast, and it just doesn't work.
Was he doing it ironically? Was that how he was revolutionizing?
Oh, no. He thought he was a revolutionary, for sure.
I didn't know he'd actually done anything. I thought he was just a twat that got drunk and talked smack.
No.
Oh.
No.
That's cool.
Well, his claim to fame is he did something for Howard Stern for a short time. So, yeah.
Wait a minute. I want to address something from the chat, Steve.
Oh, we have chat? I'm not allowed to look at that.
Yeah, I know. Do either of you feel like we did not give Brent the opportunity to speak?
I think we gave him...
He just steamrolled all over us for like an hour.
Okay, because he stated in the chat Let me go back up. I never left out facts. The interview was scattered. It was tough to keep it on topic. I could probably talk about it for a couple hours, but you need to let the guest talk.
Holy Lord, kid.
Yeah.
I'm not saying not because I like Brent as a for the fact that he's out there looking for Sam and all that. To me, that I hold him in high regards for that. But when we asked plenty of direct questions, right?
Mm-hmm.
And Brent talked a lot in that interview, and I mean, I think we pretty much let him talk.
Yeah.
So nothing against the guy. I mean, it is what it is. I don't think we got a clear answer on the questions we wanted, but you know.
Yeah. Hey, it is what it is. All I'm saying is that,
and I think we should officially, after this show, put that subject to rest.
Yeah, I mean, I'm fucking done with it.
I'm not even going to blog about it. I'm so over it.
No, I will still say something about digging up the wrong tree and shit.
Oh yeah, that's a joke.
I mean, that'll be a way. Yeah,
just that's the gift that keeps on giving right there. But you know, I mean, I don't see how we didn't give him the opportunity to speak. He had plenty of opportunity to speak, and he could have said anything that he wanted, and he could have cleared everything up. Because the fact of the matter is, you can dodge around the question, or dodge answering the question, but people are talking about it, man. And
I didn't directly ask him about business endeavors with Lori because I didn't know about those prior. So maybe that's on me. But we did definitely directly ask about the relationship question. And I felt like, and maybe I'm wrong, but I felt like we got a pretty dodgy answer to that one.
Yeah, I mean, like I said, one of the first things that you and I said to each other after the show when we were talking was that the way he answered the question was like, yeah, okay. All right. I mean, hey, and I may be wrong. Could be totally wrong. I don't fucking know.
I don't know. There was a lot of Facebook posts on it back in the day when the whole story hit about the tree being dug up and all that. I
don't know if they were dating, but they were definitely fucking at one point.
Well, I don't know.
Look at fucking Richard just coming out with the punches at the end.
There you go.
Yeah, fucking the 1-2. Fucking Jesus. Slam.
But anyway,
I'm just saying, I'm fucking over this subject now.
Yeah,
it's caused me way more headaches than fucking any other topic, and that includes the interview I did with Matthew Johnson. Okay, I'm just done with this subject, done with Brent fucking Dill and Laurie fucking Simmons. Okay, I never want to hear their names ever again.
You sure?
Yeah, pretty fucking sure. And let me tell you something else, all right? Let me tell you something else. And this might hurt people's feelings, but I'm just going to spill it out. Laurie Simmons is a slut, okay? Simple as. She'll sleep with anyone that gives her the time of day.
Allegedly.
Yeah, you got to put allegedly behind that because we don't know that's a fact.
Yeah.
It's my last show. I'm going to be as inappropriate as I fucking want to.
Do you want to call some people cunts, Richard?
Yeah,
I mean,
let's
just start a list. I want
you are a cunt. Dean Cooper, fucking mega cunt. Ryan Redding, Ryan fucking Redding. God, cunt. Matthew Johnson, cunt. Final fucking inappropriate joke. Edward Waterman's dead. What's the BF deal?
Okay, yeah, that was, yeah.
Wow. Talk about punching down. Oh, and I hate to just keep addressing the chat tonight, gentlemen, but Alan Hentages. How the fuck do you pronounce his name?
I don't know. I've been trying to figure that out for years.
Drunken cunt.
Okay, yeah.
That's not how you pronounce it, Richard.
Chris sucked on questions. Okay, let me take y'all behind the fucking fourth wall yet again, so I can explain to you motherfuckers how this is done. I went into a hangout with Brent and Richard, and I had talked to Brent.
I was not in said hangout.
Steve was not in said hangout. So I, being, the thinking person that I am, told Brent that Steve is not here. I cannot control what Steve says or asks you, even if he was here. And then I messaged Steve and said that the hangout went okay and that Brent would be coming on the show.
Right.
And by the way, you're the bad cop. Enjoy asking the fucking questions.
Yeah, we're going to have some sort of some sort of order to the show, right?
And me saying that Steve is going to be bad cop is not me like undermining anybody. Like
I don't think it was that bad though.
No. We didn't fucking attack the guy. We didn't fucking tear him down. So,
like he did the tree. Sorry.
But anyway, so we'll let this go so that Richard can have peace in his heart.
It's driving me literally insane. I've had some fucking tough times. Like when I blogged against Sarah Brown, I got a lot of hate for that. And when I blogged against Nathan Rio, I got a lot of hate for that. But this fucking Brent Dill thing, Jesus wept.
His name is Rio, and he dances in the sand.
Kill yourself for that joke.
I know.
Just kill yourself.
Listen, I have a rope
allegedly
set up all the time.
It's in the hallway. He has to walk past it every day.
I just fucking am. Is it today? No, not today. Not today. But
it's not a disagreement, Cooper. We've settled our differences amicably.
Yeah.
And we're doing it live on air so that you can all hear it.
Yeah. Because generally, that's what we do.
It's done. It's over with. I'm not doing the show anymore. We're all fine and dandy.
Well, that's not entirely true. Like, you're more than welcome to come on as a guest, and I told you, if you want to do shit every once in a while. I mean, like I said, you're a guy in the know. You stick your nose all over that Bigfoot shit.
I am a gossip.
So, I mean...
Hey, I'll still accept news stories, Richard.
That's the joke, isn't it? I'll probably still end up being the producer. Chris will message me halfway through the week and be like, can't think of a topic. Any ideas?
Hey, what are you doing? Hey, look, I think it takes some big, I'm not saying myself in it because I didn't even know Richard was leaving the show, but it takes a big guy to come on this show, knowing it's your last fucking show and still coming on. So
hey, I've got nothing but respect for Chris York. He gets on my nerves sometimes. I'd be lying if I said he didn't, but I got nothing but respect for him. And, he came to me man to man and was like, look,
right.
You've done this, and this wrong. I don't think you should do the show anymore. And I said, well, I agree with this, and this, but I don't agree with that. And we've talked it out like men or women.
And if we could all do that, if it could just be done that way with everybody in every situation, it would be better.
Doesn't always work that way, Steve.
It doesn't work that way, usually.
But
so we're trying to set an example here, motherfucker.
That's right. And we're putting it to rest right here tonight. We're done with it. No more. It'll never be It'll never be spoken about again, Richard.
Oh, it probably will.
That's right. Because tonight's episode, Richard, was brought to you by Brent Dill and Lori Simmons. This has been the Fortean Slip, episode 60, the Bigfoot After School Special. If you like this shit, hit the little thumbs up button. If you don't, hit the little thumbs down button. Leave a comment. Subscribe. Check out Matt Knapp at youtube.com/bigfootcrossroads. And also his Cryptid Tales channel. I'll have to look that one up. Check out Parabob at youtube.com/parabreakdown, where he can fuck up a Bigfoot breakdown. Check
it
out
1% of the time.
Bigfootin' with Keith and Colin on Facebook. Richard is diligently putting out those fucking things. Fred Dunn today said that his drawings were so realistic they jumped off the page, and I corrected him by telling him that no, that was the mushrooms that he took. Check out Fred Dunn at youtube.com/Dred Funn and dredfunn.com. Richard, it's your last show.
See ya.